Welcome to Armchair Expert. I'm Dan Shepard. I'm joined by Mrs. Mouse.
Hi, I was a mouse today.
You just did a really mousy thing like seconds ago. Rob got us those crazy bagels.
Yummy. Courage Bagel, shout out.
I opened up mine. I do remember there are two halves, and one of the halves I had already eaten half of, ironically, 1/4 of the bagel. But when I opened it up, there was you couldn't call it more than a 0.1 bite out of the other previously virgin side of the bagel. And
I corrupted it.
It was a mouse.
It was a little mouse.
You got confused on who's. You took the fakest bite ever out of it.
No, that was a real big bite.
That was the tiniest bite ever. It really did look like a mouse bite. And then how did you put it together
happened.
that it wasn't yours?
When I opened it, I was like, this is missing half of its half.
This is 3/4 of a bagel.
Rob must have eaten half.
Oh, because he's a rascal?
Well, no, I just thought, some of it. Rob decided to split this between me and him, and he ate half of his half.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right.
So I took a bite of my half, and then I thought, Rob would never do that.
No, as rascally as he is, he wouldn't cut a bagel in half with his teeth.
Yeah. So I thought, this must be Dax's. So I went back up, and sure enough, there was a full-fledged, not eaten bagel that was mine, and I left that mouse bite just sit.
If I were a tyrant about justice, I would insist that I take a 5% bite out of your...
It's available.
Okay. But I don't even know if I could make a bite that small. I'd have to just sink my incisor into it and tear like a parrot off a little bit.
That's a huge... Well,
I've gone in now. Yes. Yeah, no, that is not the bite you took. Okay. Speaking of rascals, Ice-T is here. He is a rascal, as we found out.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah,
we know he's a rapper. We know he's an actor. Currently in the longest running character, I know for sure black character, on television currently, and I think maybe just globally.
Wow.
At any rate, he's been on Law and Order Special Victims Unit, SVU. He's been on that show for 2 decades, basically.
Yeah.
Additionally, he has a new season of Law & Order SVU, September 22nd on NBC. I fell in love with him, as you'll learn, from his album Power, and also being the title song of Colors, the Sean Penn, Robert Duvall movie in my youth in the mid-'80s.
I mean, he's one of the biggest rappers ever.
Yes, but that's not what he's here to talk about. He's here to talk about Split Decision, a new book he has co-authored with a friend of his, Split Decision, Life Stories, and it is about a friend of his who he used to do rascally things with, Rob Banks. But his friend went on a much different trajectory. It's a really fascinating story and spent a lot of time in prison, and they wrote a book about it. It's called Split Decision, Life Stories. Okay, so this month's prompts for Armchair Anonymous have a spooky theme because it's Halloween.
Yeah. Well, one of them is spooky, and another one's also...
They're all spooky. Which one isn't?
Waking up drinking.
That's spooky. You could have woken up in a bathtub full of ice and your kidneys are gone.
Scary.
You could wake up in another state because you passed out in someone's car and they didn't know.
You know what's not spooky?
What?
Pooping at the gym.
That's spooky.
No.
You would spook people if you were next to them and you were in a deep bend for a squat.
All right, well, let's just lay them out.
Okay, let's walk through them. Okay, so question number 1. What is the weirdest thing that's happened at a funeral? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's spooky, death. Weirdest place you've woken up after a night of drinking.
Or debauchery.
Or coke use. No,
right, that
I'm
includes
teasing. Although you never go to sleep, so you can't. That's the upside of coke, because you don't wake up anymore. You're always awake. Okay, the next one is the craziest ghost story.
That you've experienced.
Right.
If you've had an encounter with a ghost, please tell us.
Your craziest encounter with a ghost.
Make it spooky.
And spooky.
Your spookiest encounter with a ghost.
Okay, spookiest encounter with a ghost. And then lastly, in our once a month Pooties series, this month's Pootie prompt is tell us about a time you had an unauthorized evacuation at the gym.
Yes.
By the way, a gym can be loose a little bit. It could be a Pilates studio.
That's right.
It could be an indoor track and field event.
Yeah, swim.
Yeah. Oh, mama. Hard to hide there. So if you'd like to submit a story, go to www.armchairexpertpod.com and follow the instructions on the webpage.
Yeah, there's a giant bar at the top of the screen.
Look at the giant bar and let us hear these stories. Let's let it rip. So please enjoy iced tea. We get support from Quince.
So we've been talking about Quince a lot lately, and as we head into fall, it's the perfect time to reset your wardrobe with their amazing pieces. I think it's so fun to do when the seasons turn over to just spruce up your wardrobe with a couple specials, and Quince is the place.
Totally. We're talking organic cotton, Mongolian cashmere, tailored chinos from just $60. Premium fit and quality you'd expect from a luxury brand designer. I love Quince. You know, I like it understated and subtle, and I like stuff that has high quality. And Quince checks all those boxes.
I love a lot of stuff from Quince. Honestly, they have incredible premium denim, which is very important for fall. It's pretty much all I wear in the fall is denim. And Quince has such a good selection of quality denim. Their stuff is so versatile, timeless, and built to last that you just grab every single day without thinking.
Right. And all of that for 50 to 80% less than similar brands. They go direct to ethical factories, cut out the middlemen, so you get all that quality without overpaying for it.
We love that. And they do way more than clothes. They have bedding, cookware, bath essentials, travel must-haves, same deal, and great quality.
Upgrade your everyday. Download the Quince app for app-exclusive offers or go to quince.com/Dax. Get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada and the UK too. That's QUINCE.com/Dax. We get support from Apple Gift Card. Back to school is here, and for many, that means some big life transitions. Whether they are heading into a new grade or setting up a dorm for the first time, you want to give them something that actually supports their growth and success. Apple Gift Card is a versatile solution because it takes the guesswork out of gifting. It's not just about a new pair of AirPods for focus. It's about giving them the invaluable chance to choose the digital tools and subscriptions that suit their unique journey. They can use it for productivity apps on the App Store, movie nights on Apple TV, or extra iCloud storage for all those new memories. With Apple Gift Card, it's so empowering to give the students their freedom to allocate their own resources. Celebrate their new academic chapter. Visit applegiftcard.apple.com to celebrate their milestones and gift one today.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
Let's party.
Let's go.
Okay, if you'll indulge me, I've been practicing this for 35 years, okay?
Go for it.
I know, Monica, you're
I'm
scared.
so scared.
I am a nightmare walking, psychopath talking, king of my jungle, just a gangster stalking, living life like a firecracker, quick as my fuse, then dead as the death that the colors I choose, red or blue cause of blood, it just don't matter, sucker die for your life when my shotgun scatter. We come to LA, we never die, just multiply colors.
You know what? You said all the right words. I've heard all kinds of words. When I say vendettas of death, people have said all kinds of weird shit that didn't have nothing to do with vendettas of death. Back to colors I choose.
Can I hit you with my favorite rhyme in the whole song, though?
Okay, go.
You'll say to stop, but I'll say that I can't. My gang is family, family is life. Peace is a dream, reality is a knife. My color, my honor, my color, my all. When my color's upon me, one soldier stand tall. Tell me, what have you left me? What have I got? Last night in cold blood, young brother got shot. My homeboy got jacked. My mother's on crack. My sister can't work because her arms show tracks.
Yeah.
Are you impressed?
Madness, insanity, living profanity.
Then some punk claiming they
Punk claiming they
understanding me.
understanding me? Give me a break. What world do you live in? Death is my set. Guess my religion.
Oh my God. How many times have people made you listen to them do that song?
It's always humbling when people know your lyrics. And that's, I think, why we make records. It's normal for have people sing along with you, but when people can pick out the raps and come back bar for bar, that's a good feeling. I appreciate that.
Oh, that was a blast. I would say me and all my friends in Detroit knew that I had power on vinyl. I mean, this is it, man. This is big for me. I'm so excited to talk to you.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. It's always fun when you talk to people that really like you or are fans of somebody that knows you versus people that are interviewing have no clue who the fuck you are. They're talking to you. So how long have you been in the NFL? I'm like, what the fuck? Who do you know?
Oh, God.
I'm a player, but I'm not a football player.
Yeah, you're pretty short for a power forward, but it's going well for you. How do you do it?
Yeah, that's when the interview's going downhill fast.
So I guess what interests me the most about you is something that I think I relate greatly to, which is I'm projecting, but I grew up around a lot of violence, a lot of hillbillies. You had to kind of stake out a persona so that you wouldn't get hurt. All my friends, they all came from trauma. Same thing as you. Dudes ended up in jail. A lot of dudes ended up dead. And getting to leave that, I really relate to. Like me moving to Los Angeles and going, oh my God, you can get along with everybody? Like you can look at a dude at Denny's and he just will smile at you? That's new. And holding on to some piece of that as your core and yet allowing yourself to evolve and change. I guess the more I let go of that, the more my life is full of love and abundance and happiness and peace. But it's still my identity in this interesting way.
We're victims of our situation. You can't really help how a kid's going to grow up when he grows up in a high energy, dangerous scenario. I mean, if you brought a kid over here that's been at war somewhere in the Middle East or something like that, he's got PTSD. He's not even a soldier, but he's got it. So there is something I think called urban PTSD. You know, if I hear a door slam, I'm ducking. Like people are like, what are you doing? I'm like, yo, I grew up around this. 50 Cent said, this ain't how my mama raised me. This is how the hood made me. And some people are just to the core evil and they just want to hurt things. A lot of other people are just surviving the situation. And if you take them out of that environment, they turn into totally different people.
Yeah.
I got fucked early in life, orphan, having it rough. And my name's Tracy. You know, in the hood, they say that's a bitch name.
Yeah. Isn't your middle name also Lauren?
Lauren.
Yeah, you got double whammy.
And I got light eyes, and I'm light skinned. So you got to teach these motherfuckers real quick everything with light skin and light eyes ain't to be fucked. So I had to put on an energy. I had to gain some weight. As we say, get swole a little bit. You have to put on a coat of armor to survive, or you're going to be prey.
Well, now that I'm 47, you're 62.
I'm 64.
Oh, I didn't mean to disrespect.
You know, now I'm on the other side of, you know, when you're getting toward your 50s and 60s, you're scared of saying your age. Once you cross the big 6-0, you're proud of every damn year.
Okay, good. I'm looking forward to that. But I'll say when I look back on my friends and myself, the irony is all that bravado is I'm scared. Like, I'm scared if I don't let you know right away, your hands are going to be full. I don't know, you might win, but your hands are going to be full. Go on to someone easier. That comes out of fear. That comes out of if you don't have that, you're going to pay the price. And so really, it's all kind of heartbreaking to me now at this vantage point. Almost none of those guys, except for the evil ones you're talking about, and I agree. Everyone else is just trying not to get fucked with.
Yeah, it's survival instincts. I got a small bulldog. He's the rowdiest bulldog because he's scared. So he's going to bite you. And, you know, we used to say in the hood, the worst person is a scared motherfucker because a scared motherfucker will kill you. If you think you're going to bully him, he's like, well, I can't fight you. I can't do anything. So you got my back up against the wall and I'll kill you. So it's an interesting dynamic. Being tough is at a premium. That's all you got. So they got these terms, toxic masculinity. Since the beginning of time, since the dark ages, male masculinity has always been held as a premium, and it was also a commodity. The guy that had the biggest army, the soldier, even in the United States, we brag because we got the best killers.
Do you remember the first time you were like, oh, I have to put on armor?
Oh, yeah. Elementary school.
Do you remember when or why?
I just remember early in my life being challenged. I remember there was this kid down the street. He was older than me. He would just fuck with the youngsters. He was a bully. And one day he stood on my feet and looked at me. So I went home and I told my father. And he said, what did you do? I said, nothing. He said, you never let a motherfucker do that to you again. I don't care how big they are. You got to let them know that that's not going to happen again. I don't give a fuck if he beats your ass. Like my man said, they're going to go to a softer target. They want no resistance. So that's when I started street fighting. And I got in a lot of fights growing up. And I didn't really stop fist fighting until I got really into heavyweight into high school. I fought all through junior high. In LA, they call it a fade. That's a new slang. So you get challenged to a fight, you either back down or you say, I catch that fade. When my bus came from Palms when I was in junior high, we stopped at a park. And almost once a week, there was a fight. Girls fighting, guys fighting.
Same. I said some of the best fights I've ever seen is girl fights in my junior high. Madness.
Yeah, and they tell you, yo, go meet me here. And they would fight at the bus stop. That way you couldn't get kicked out of school.
Uh-huh.
And you just learn hand-to-hand combat, so to speak. And this is before people were pulling guns and shooting all that. And once you got your ass kicked or you kicked the other person's ass, everybody would break it up and that would be it.
Yeah. Your story, there's so many layers. Moving to Newark, then moving to LA. So I think I knew that stuff, but I didn't know your mom died of a heart attack in 3rd grade. And that would be enough for you, I think.
Yeah.
That would be enough. That'd be like a high enough ACE score that you're probably fucked going forward when you lose mom in 3rd grade.
But a lot of kids are single parents. So even though my mother died, she died at an age, when you're in 3rd grade, you truly don't understand death. This was the first person around me that died. I didn't understand it. And in the era when my mother passed, the kids weren't involved in the funerals enough. Somebody died, you just got shuttled off to an aunt. That was it.
They hid it from you pretty much to, quote, protect you, imagine.
Which I honestly believe it did. Because still today, I don't go to funerals. You could be my best friend. If you pass, I want to remember us doing this interview. I don't want to see you in no box. I don't want that locked in my brain.
What if just for shits and giggles, I do that Dominican Republican funeral and they got me staged on a motorcycle doing a wheelie? Like, you might come to that one, right? That's kind of...
I might watch it on the internet.
The odds are impossible. Your dad also dies of a heart attack at 13. You're definitely aware at that point, right?
I'm aware, but I don't know what's going to happen to me. You already ain't got no moms. I'm living with my dad, and I got like a housekeeper lady that's helping us named Miss Sinoni. Beautiful lady that was like a second mom to me. She was there. When my father passed, I was just like, what's going to happen to me? Like, I just didn't know what happens. Am I going to an orphanage? And for some reason, I didn't cry either. I'd already gotten a little cold. When they sent me to my aunt's house in LA, it was supposed to be for the summer. They were trying to figure out what to do with this kid. And then all my clothes showed up there. And then I was there. I just didn't know what was going on. As a kid, what you going to do? You're just going to do what the adults tell you to do.
Yeah. I needed male validation. I fucking had to get it. Like, am I on track? Am I a man? And I relied on my friends for that. And I was like, what do we do? You ride a wheelie? Okay, I'll do that. You jump this thing? Okay. That kind of got relegated to all my peers. And I wonder if losing your dad at 13, who stepped in? Who were you trying to get validation from that you were doing it?
Well, I moved into my aunt's house. I had a cousin named Earl. He had already got out of high school. He was kind of like a black hippie. He thought he was Jimi Hendrix. He was doing acid. And that's where I got my rock influences because he kept the radio stuck on KMET and KLOS. I had to share a room with this dude. He was in a zone. I had another friend when I got to junior high named Billy Arnold, who was just like one of those kids that just had everything. He had a motorcycle. He had guns. He had drugs. He was that kid.
He was an adult.
And he lived in the house with his mother and his sisters. But this was the kid. He had a fucking fine-ass girlfriend in junior high school.
Sure. He was fucking.
Yeah, he was that guy. Had all the best clothes. I was like, damn, I go to my house. I don't have no action like that. I'm living in a real restricted, because my aunt was a social worker and she was an alcoholic also. So she was the person that would determine what kids would go to different homes, but then come home and drink a pint of gin at night. I wasn't fucking with her. But then my buddy Billy died before he made it to high school, riding his motorcycle through an intersection and got killed.
Oh my God.
Being that free is maybe not that safe at that age.
Yeah, that's a lot.
You need some
a lot of freedom at
limitations.
13.
Right. I remember me and him, we used to steal his sister's car. We would get off the bus. Then we'd run and steal his sister's car. And then we would drive back around the other bus stops so the kids could see us.
Of
in the
course.
car. We would be playing I'm Your Pusher, I'm Your Mama, I'm Your Dad. And we played that record because it had the word nigga in it. It was the hardest record ever. You say that, play that part back. I'm that nigga in the alley. And yeah, I lost my friend in junior high school. And, it was just a weird situation at my aunt's house. So I couldn't really wait to get out of there. And I ended up getting out of there at 17.
Okay, but again, we just got to recap. You lost your mom in 3rd grade. You lost your dad in, I guess it was probably 6th or 7th grade. And then you lose your best friend going into high school.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is an
That's a lot of
inordinate amount of
loss.
death.
Yeah.
I have to imagine it kind of, well, A, it seems like death's quite possible and likely. It's around you, right? So this is a real option. It feels pretty near, I'd imagine. And also, life's not safe, right? Like your worldview at that point must be, shit, this place ain't that safe. You can just drop all the time.
I remember I was going to kill this dude. I had this guy that was fucking with me at Palms named Richard. He was giving me problems, like wanting to talk shit, call me this, that, and the third. And I was around him. I was like, I could beat this motherfucker's ass, but I wanted to kill him. So I had access to a gun from my next door neighbor, a 45. I was really set to murder this kid. I had stayed home from school that day, and I knew he was going to get off the bus. It was premeditated. It was murder one. And I was going to walk up to him and just murder him. I was that pissed. And I know how much that pressure can get on somebody where they feel like there's no fucking other answer for this. And I sat there that day, and when that bus pulled up, I was just like, he ain't worth my life. Because I knew I was going to spend the rest of my life in jail too. And nothing never happened. I just backed down. I stood down. I had a whole day away from school to think about it. But when you get ready to kill, the thing about it is when they say guns kill, a cold heart kills. You zero out. I've been in many situations. I was in another situation where I was about to kill this dude. And before it happens, your body goes into this zero place, like fuck every fucking thing. It's a weird place. I'm not just talking about shooting in crowd. I'm talking about we getting ready to do this. You zero out and you go into this weird warp. It's a dangerous place to be. Melly Mel had this record. He said, don't push me. I'm close to the edge.
I'm trying
not to lose my head. You never know when somebody is close to the edge. You never know.
Yeah. Oh, I think about this in another way. I'm ex-drug addict. And occasionally I remember I'll be at 7-Eleven and I'll think, just because you quit doesn't mean everyone else did. Like this guy could be up day 4 right now, not in his right mind. You were that way a lot. I think of that all the time. Like you just don't know where anyone's at on the ride in that moment.
And also being young, you're not really ready to make conscious decisions. How old are you right now?
47.
47. If you look back to when you was 18, Monica, if you look back to when you were 18, both you guys, tell me what percentage of the shit you thought was correct.
Oh, 100.
Oh, that's held up?
Yeah, it's held up.
Oh, 5.
Yeah, 5-10%. Also, to your point, I was never looking beyond the end of the summer.
Right.
Or at best, I was looking to let's make it to Christmas break. I was never looking years ahead.
Well, you couldn't. Your frontal lobe isn't even fully developed enough to be able to do that.
Yeah.
When you're adolescent, you're actually almost insane compared to the way an adult would think. So you don't think of all these different things. And fortunately, that situation, I thought about the ramifications of this action, and I saved my own life that day.
Can I ask, too, I wonder if just the notion that you had gotten yourself there, I also imagine you didn't really have anyone looking at you. Mom's gone, dad's gone. If you do something that you're ashamed of, well, who's even around to witness this? I'm on my own. I fuck up. That's just me that knows, basically.
That matures you fast. So when all of my friends could be broke, they got no money in their pocket, I would be broke with $100 or I'd be broke with $500 because when I actually tapped out, I couldn't eat. So you could get broke with me, but you're going to go home to mama's house. You're going to go to your cousin's house. And once I got out of high school, if I didn't have any money, I had no place to sleep. Being on your own is difficult. And there's a lot of adults that still aren't on their own. They live with their parents, someone's supporting them. Being on your own is hard. Just surviving, period. Yeah. Paying your bills and eating is difficult.
Mm-hmm. So what age do you meet Spike?
I met Spike after I came back from the Army. So I went in the Army when I was like 18, 19, did 4 years.
You had a kid, right?
Yeah, I had my daughter when I was in high school. When I was in the 12th grade, I got my own apartment, $250 a month Social Security. I spent $100 on the crib, $100 on food. I had $50 in my pocket. So we're selling weed. We're trying to take that 50 and flip it. I had my daughter because I just was not that familiar with having sex. I was just young.
You didn't have a dad to pull you aside and
Yeah.
say, hey, here's how this works.
And I'm old. You almost had to get a prescription to get condoms, you know?
Yeah, they had that lambskin, just a saggy bag over it.
It was not like it is now. They give them out in school. So I'm like, oh, shit, she's pregnant, right? So me being an orphan, I'm like, well, I want the baby. She was too young. She was in the 10th grade. We had the child. I decided I'm going to have to get responsible. I went into the military. I did 4 years. Now, when I came out, now the cats that was small-time kids, now they hustling for real. Now it's not just weed, it's coke. They were robbing banks. They were doing everything. I just fell in place with them guys. And Spike pulled up. There were different crews. Like we were in the 40s. Spike's from the 30s, which is called the Harlem Crips area.
This is Place off of Crenshaw, like 40 Place, 30 Place. Those streets, is that what it references?
The way you break down LA gangs is in the blocks. So let's say go down Crenshaw or Western, all those go north to south. But if you're in the 20s, that's 20s. Those are the Bloods, 20 Outlaws. Pyru are from Compton. They're a separate gang inside of the Bloods. If you got the 30s, those are Harlem Crips. You got the 40s, those are now Crips. You got the 60s, those are the Rolling 60 Crips. You got the 80s, those are the 8-Trade gangsters. They're usually named after the most poppin' street in that 10-block area. Anything that's not a Crip is a Blood by default. If it's a Crip gang, the Crip gang will have the word Crip connected to it. So it's the Harlem Crips, Hoover Crips, West Side Crips, Underground Crips. Bloods are bounty hunters, bishops, Pyrus, Denver Lanes, Athens Park Boys, Inglewood Family. They don't call themselves Inglewood Family Bloods. They're just Bloods because they're not Crips. It's deep. So he comes from 30s, which were called the Harlem Godfathers, which just turned into the Harlem Crips. Don't ask me how the word Harlem got connected to an LA gang.
Sure.
That's another story. One of the things the players used to do, at this time, I'm hanging with the players because I never was in a gang. I was hanging around with players. We would trade cars. So my boy Nat the Cat had a Jag. And one of these cats out of his crew, T-Money Bonaventure type, that's one of the most player named T-Money Bonaventure type.
That's smooth. That's off the Pontiac Bonaventure. That's a luxury car there.
I was with him when he got that name because we were trying to get to a party at the Bonaventure Hotel. And his name was just T-Money that night. This is a legendary story. They wouldn't let us in. And he said, bitch, do you not know who I am? I'm T-Money Bonaventure type. So that stuck with him. But anyway, T-Money had a Russ Cadillac on spokes, and we decided, you guys ride our car for a minute, we'll swap cars like players do. And Spike was with him, and I see this cat leaning up against the car. The way we dressed was Sergio Tacchini sweatsuits, Fila sweatsuits, very high-end, Louis Vuitton, all that stuff. And I'm like, who's this player? And then he noticed me, and we just became friends. I just liked his energy, and Spike can talk, and I'm the talker. So we just clicked.
What was his background? Because again, if I zoom out and I go, oh, that's interesting. Every single friend I had growing up was from divorced parents. Oh, that's curious. I didn't realize it when I was doing it, but now I go, oh, did Spike have a similar background as yours where you guys understood each other?
I'm going to tell you the honest God truth. I had no understanding of Spike's parents or background or family till we wrote this book.
No shit.
I knew Spike had a brother who was a gangbanger. That's why Spike had power over in his neighborhood. His brother was an OG named Turk. And then his other brother was a thief. He was a hustler. I knew that much. I didn't know about his mom, his grandma, all that stuff. I just learned that in this book. One thing about street cats, we don't divulge too much personal information to each other.
But that don't mean you don't see each other, right? Like, yes, I agree. You might not have sat down and had a big share-all. Like, I never screen for friends and say, oh, do you have a violent fucking stepdad? Let's hang. But
Right.
damn it, if we all didn't have violent stepdads, we saw each other somehow. So you and Spike become friends, and is it safe to say he's a little deeper in it than you are?
No, I was deeper because I was already running a crew. So it was just more like he was in another team and he decided to come over to my team and bring his expertise to my team. Spike's athletic. Spike was a baseball player. And a lot of the stuff we were doing, some of the escapes were basically parkour. So I was very strategic in making the getaways. And you couldn't chase us. Like if we got away 50 feet from you, you'd never catch us. It would just be difficult unless you was really in good fucking shape. And still, you had no reason to shoot us because we weren't using guns.
And how much time did you guys spend together doing hood rat shit?
Years.
Was he your best friend at that time?
Not my best friend. Nat the Cat was my best friend because that's where I was almost living. Spike would come and go. I was good friends with his cousin, Rich. Rich was the youngest hustler in the neighborhood. Spike and him hit a big lick early, and Rich was like 11 or 12, bought a Seville, and would drive it in through the hood, sitting on phone books.
He was like Doogie Howser. Doogie Howser gangster.
But we always had little kids with us, too. There was another kid. I don't like saying names of people that ain't in the book. Was another kid that was young, and that was part of the lick. We'd go in and we'd do the distraction, and the kid would crawl behind the case. Rich would always do this thing where he would go into the back room and try to find a safe with his dick out. And if they caught him, he'd be like, I'm looking for the bathroom. And they would be like, what are you doing? Like, I have to pee.
That's clever.
Hey, man, there's so much of this shit going on. The funny thing is when we wrote the book, I didn't want to write a how-to manual on committing crime. So we brushed over a lot of shit. Unless the question is posed to me, I won't speak on it.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
This episode is brought to you by the new Max original comedy series, Stuart Fails to Save the Universe. From the world and creators of The Big Bang Theory comes a new comedy series. Stuart Bloom, comic book store owner and lovable underdog, accidentally breaks a device built by Sheldon and Leonard and kicks off a full-blown multiverse Armageddon. Now, he's on a mission to put reality back together alongside his girlfriend Denise, a geologist named Bert, and physicist Barry Kripke. Along the way, they're running into alternate universe versions of characters you already know and love. Check out the new Max original comedy series, Stuart Fails to Save the Universe, now streaming exclusively on HBO Max with new episodes Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Subscription required. This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. We've talked before about Rob building our website on Squarespace, and I bring it up again because it's a perfect example of what they do well. Rob had all the pieces, the content, the vision, the ideas, but he needed something to actually take all that and make it public facing. And Squarespace was that bridge. Maybe you're in the same spot. You've been developing something, a business, a skill set, a body of work, and it's been private. It's been yours, but at some point you're ready to put it out there, and that transition from private to public can feel like a huge leap. Squarespace makes it feel like a step. Beautiful templates, built-in SEO, email campaigns, scheduling, analytics, everything you need to go from I've been working on this to here it is, come find me. All in one place, no code, no stitching together a bunch of different tools. So if you've been sitting on something and waiting for the right moment, this might be it. Head to squarespace.com/DAX for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code DAX to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Thank you to our presenting sponsor, HP, for supporting this episode. Parents, you've got enough on your back-to-school list right now. Ink cartridges do not need to be on it. They just don't. The HP Smart Tank printer uses a refillable ink tank and comes with up to 3 years of ink included. It's the last printer you'll ever need. To learn more, search HP Smart Tank.
So you end up longest running drama on TV, tons of albums, me being obsessed, knowing the lyrics to that song at 12. Shouldn't have known those lyrics. Where did the path diverge?
The path started to diverge when rap kind of started to be the thing. And anybody in the game knows that you're going to run into the odds eventually. And I liked hip hop. Hip hop was so intoxicating. When I saw the breakers on That's Incredible, I was like, yo, this shit is dope. I want to do that. Now, I'd already learned how to make raps because I was rapping in high school doing gangbanger rhymes to keep the gangbangers at bay. So I just was doing it on the side. Like I would go to clubs and I would rap. The thing of it was, as I would rap, I would never rap about anything criminal. I would rap like rappers rap. Throw your hands in the air. The party's over here. The party's over there. I would dress like the rappers. I would wear spikes and shit. I'm like trying to be hip hop. Then it kind of started to hit. You know, we did Breaking. We got a platinum record off that. When I did 6 in the Morning, the identity kicked in. And that was a crime rhyme. And the fans went bananas for it. And I was like, people really want to hear this negative ass shit? Like, this is my life. And I just didn't realize how many kids were still involved in shit like this. So I said, you know what I'll do? I'll write it, but I'll always try to bank it into the problems that come along with it. In my other book, I had this story called Too Famous to Steal. I had a convertible Porsche all hooked up. I needed a part, and the part was on another hot car. So I'm telling my boys, get me the motherfucking part. Like, what's happening? They were like, oh, man. I said, where's the shit? Where's the car at? So to get to this car, you have to walk through the parking complex. I walked right past the apartment. I'm in the car stealing by myself, and all these kids come outside. And they're like, iced tea.
Oh, my God.
We want to take pictures. Now, these little motherfuckers probably saw me in Breaking or some shit. Now I'm standing in a G-Ride stealing. Now the mothers come out.
Oh, my God.
Somebody got a picture of me standing in front of that hot Porsche. Some fan out there. After that night, I called the homies. I'm like, this car can't be here in the morning. And they moved it. But that was the moment that I said, nah, this right here, no more.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you realize it's time to pick and commit.
Yeah, but dig this. I went broke when I picked rap. Even on a rap album back in those days, you might make, after taxes, a couple $100,000. We could make that in a half hour. It's a pay cut. So I sat my guys down. At that time, we had already created Rhyme Syndicate, all the different rap groups in LA. And I told everybody, I'm done. I'm not breaking the law. I can't. And also, don't talk to me about anything you're doing. Treat me like I'm bugged. Treat me like the feds are watching me. Because I want to be able to pass a polygraph. I want to be able to say, I do not fucking know. You can't snitch if you don't know. Spike heard that message and decided to continue. And also, I'm taking him on tour. You know, you might make a few dollars with me on tour, but nothing compared to what you can make in the street. Then I go back to my life being Ice-T, and you're kind of just waiting on the next show or something. What are you going to do? He knew he couldn't tell me about anything because I'd already made that clear. And all this shit that was going on went on behind my back.
Yeah. But obviously you hear when first he gets sentenced, what, to 2 or 4 years or something?
Now, the first bid, we call that a vacation.
Okay.
Anything under 5 to a criminal is a vacation. I got to go away for, 12 months, 18 months, 36 months.
Right.
That's nothing. You shouldn't be in the game if you can't do 5 years. Don't even play with it because that's going to happen occasionally. So he did the first one, no problem. Came back a little swole. But the bad one happened after this meeting, after this conversation. And it started dringling in. Something happened. Somebody got killed. Did Spike kill him? We didn't know what happened. And he went off the grid. He didn't make a phone call back to us for 5 years.
Oh, my God. Why do you suppose?
You got a 35 to life bid. Why call home?
Yeah, he was defeated. I'm dead.
Well, not dead, but now I have to adapt to this new reality.
Yeah.
I'm going to be here for a minute. Fuck calling home, worrying about what's happening on the streets. What's happening right here? I need to focus on this. If I'm going to survive this 20 years, fuck outside. This is my life.
Yeah, so it's a weird experience to become Ice-T. I don't know for you, but for me, it got coupled with a ton of survivor's guilt.
Crime is an addiction. It's just like drugs. It's just like any other addiction. The way you get addicted, you don't get addicted the first time you get high. You get addicted after you got on high a lot of times successfully. And before you know it, you're addicted. First time you break the law, you get caught. You probably will never do it again.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers tell me, I've been to jail 10 times. I'm like, you should stop. You're not good at it. You know? Whatever you're doing, you're not good at it. But when you've been successful, like I was, maybe thousands of felonies and never getting caught. See, Spike at one point changed his name from just Spike to Magic Spike. His ego was like, I'm uncatchable because we were so strategic in what we did. He lost his mind. And when he got in this situation, which he never thought he would do because he thought he was playing it a special way, he didn't do the crime. He sent cats, but he sent amateurs. And at the end of the day, somebody unfortunately lost their life. Well, guess what? The law says you sent these people. And it all hit him. He was so embarrassed when I talked to him. He was sad. You know, he was just like, Ice, man, you know that's not what I do, man. We ain't never hurt nobody, man. I'm just like fucked up. And I know I broke the code. I did something that we said was a no-no. But I was trying to get money, man. I was trying to build a war chest so I could be in the music industry. And I didn't want to ask you. And it was sad, man. We thought he was never coming home. When you get 25 to life or at 35 to life, that means you have to bring them a minimum. So 25 to life, that means you got to bring them 25. After that, they can keep you forever. You go to the parole board, they say, come back in 15 years. You go again, come back in 10 years. They have that option.
He did get out, though. What did he end up serving?
He would call us, and I'm like, ain't no amount of money can get you out of jail. You took a deal with no chance of appeal. The only thing we could do is help you when you go to that parole board. So we put money on the books, and we had to wait 25 years.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Yeah. And 26 years, he went to the parole board, and we did what we could do to stack the deck. We got the best attorney we could possibly get to walk him in there. But I told him, you got to change. You got to get your head right. So he started doing AA. He ain't even an alcoholic. You know why he did AA? Because he knew he had an addiction.
Yeah. Smart.
So he did AA. He did that. He started running the Scared Straight programs because he was a big guy. He did everything he had to do because I said, we'll meet you here, but you got to do what you got to do on the inside. I can't do that for you. I'm not going to sit in front of the parole board. You are. They'll look at you and they can read bullshit. And they'll be like, you know what, his name's Alton Pierce. Come back in 10 years. On his first parole, he got out 26 years on a 35 to life.
Oof.
Wow.
And he's been home 6 years. He works at Cedars-Sinai now. He has humbled himself, gave the game up. I'm done with that. Dropped Magic. And he's now helping COVID patients. It's his retribution. And he's trying to level his life out with God.
Okay, so I watched you on Sways, and there's a couple of really profound moments when you were getting interviewed by Sways.
Yes, sir. Yes, you're a Sway.
It's just Sway, it's not Sways.
It's Sways meaning his show.
I got you. Apostrophe, yes. Okay, you were explaining that lovers are who you come face to face with. Haters, they're across the street, and they don't cross the street, really.
Except when they're on Twitter. Then they can come across the street.
That's right. I thought you were doing this really beautiful job of trying to let them know that, like, you can just display love and guess what? You're going to receive it. And one of the gals asked you, well, how do you punish your enemies? And you were like, I don't have that. I can't really speak on that. Like, I've never had anyone come up to me in person and do this. And I don't know, for me, and again, maybe I'm projecting, but I was like, it's heartbreaking, really. There's so many people still that disappointment, hurt, enemies, all those things are the thing they need to be thinking about the most and preparing for the most. And it's most around them and it's their worldview. And you can just see, like, God, you were lucky enough to get plucked out, right? And through so much positive reinforcement, started to learn there's a version of life I can have, which is pretty much love.
Yeah.
When I look around, I can't believe how nice and kind the people in my life are and how actually gentle and peaceful my life is. I'm so grateful for it. And then yet also I'm heartbroken that you can't just hand that to somebody. You can't just go like, try the other way, see what happens.
Over my whole career and the millions of people I've met, I could probably count the assholes out on one hand. When I was out on tour with Public Enemy, I remember we knocked this kid out. He was talking too much shit. Like he wanted to be on the bus and we like, no one can come on our bus. He was a fan. And then he decided just to step on the side of the bus and curse us all out. Me and the S1Ws were just looking at him. And I was like, this guy's really feeling himself right now. So I walked outside. I said, come here, man. Come here, man. And I knocked him out. He didn't have a Twitter field between them. But on social media, everybody's behind their keyboards. They can say whatever, like they want to poke the lion. Some of them do it just for the reply. Some of them really hate your guts. But face to face, that hater will stand across the street. They won't cross in. The lover will come and say something to you. One of my mottos you might want to take is, don't worry about what people think about you, because they probably don't think about you that much anyway.
Yeah. We have a saying in AA, what other people think of you is none of your business.
Yeah.
Which I also dig.
People have a problem with you. That's their problem. That's not my problem.
You know, you're an evolved, nice, benevolent person. Does it ever break your heart that you can't just touch someone on the shoulder and go, just focus on the other thing for a minute?
It has a lot to do with the environment they're in.
Yeah, of course.
I had a friend, one of my producers, Aladdin. He had made a lot of money with me. He used to come over to my house. I was living in Hollywood Hills, and he would come over there, but he would be dressing like a gangbanger. And I'm like, why are you dressing like a gangbanger? He said, cuz I still live in Compton. I still got to go home. They don't know how much money I got. I got to live in this environment. So I told him, you need to move.
Yeah.
So he took his money, he moved to Hollywood, North Hollywood, and he became a pimp. But his whole swag changed. All of a sudden, he was dressing better, looking cool. You know, that didn't last for long either. But you're going to have to adapt to your environment. And a lot of the kids I'm talking to right now, they're just like, Ice, I want to be like you.
It's too dangerous.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, it just gives me a lot of sadness, or I recognize that the stakes of everything for a lot of guys, young dudes, it's like, I get it. I get the stakes. But fuck, I want you to know there's a whole different existence on planet Earth. And it's worth trying to find it.
You know what I never understood? Motherfuckers that ain't from that environment wanting that environment. Like kids that come from really nice backgrounds wanting to go in the hood or wanting that energy. That was stupid to me. That always has been stupid. I'm like, you from where?
So I think Colors came out when I was in 6th grade. Again, super violent fucking school. And you're in fear of that. And you see these guys that appear to be fearless. You think if I was this guy, if I was Ice-T, if I was the dudes in this movie, I would be able to exist without any fear. Everyone around me would recognize, just don't fuck with this guy. The rich kids are just as fucking scared. Their stepdad's beating their ass. They're getting molested. They're getting their asses kicked by this. You know, the violence and the trauma, it pretty much transcends all the shit. How many people love Mike Tyson? He's the ultimate fantasy. Anywhere I'm at, I can solve this problem in a millisecond. That's aspirational. I'm so safe if I'm Mike Tyson. Not recognizing, no, you're actually more likely to die, but you think I would be safe if I was that dude. I think that's the attraction. Is hip hop represents fearlessness, bravado, toughness, and all these scared kids, they want that.
Makes a lot of sense. But don't think we're not afraid of shit. We're just ultra aware. We're just aware of all the threats. You know, like they say, head on a swivel. You're not really carrying that gun because you want to go shoot somebody. You're carrying that strap because they shooting. And I'm not going to run around with a butter knife if these motherfuckers got AK-47s. So all my friends that are grown, we call LA South Central, we call it the killing fields. Most of my friends have left. I got a couple homies over here with me now. We're in Arizona, but they know that the streets are hot. And the thing about the streets, when you got your feet planted in the streets every day, you know how it's moving. But when you're not out there every day, you don't really even know what's moving and you're at danger. So people tell me, they like, you go back to the hood. I quote Floyd Mayweather. They asked Floyd if he goes back to the hood. He goes, they robbing broke motherfuckers in the hood. Like,
Yeah. We interviewed 50 Cent, and he basically said the same thing in so many words. He's like, I can't be around that shit. It's too desperate, and they know I got shit.
I'm at a disadvantage. When I was broke, I'll take off on you. I'll fight you. Now, if I hit you, you're going to fall down and sue me. So I can't walk around like you guys walk around. I can't do it. You know, there's a motto I always say, if you ever fuck with people with nothing to lose, they will help you lose everything you've worked for. I got something to lose now. And even in the gangster world, once you get a family, you become softer. And the gangsters know that. And that's where they hit you. They're going to hit you with your kids. They're going to find that soft spot. So I'm real soft now. I got a family. I got kids. I don't want to get sued. I tell them, Dax, I'm as nice as you'll let me be, man. I don't want that. But don't get it fucked up. Like, we could be nice or we can get into some bullshit. And I'm very comfortable with the bullshit. I'm very seasoned in that. But let's not go there. Let's just be friends. If somebody was a serial killer, and then he became a florist, is he a florist or a serial killer that likes flowers?
Okay, but with the book, though, there's at least some message, Split Decision.
The message is every single decision you make from this second on can change the trajectory of your life. Everything. When your girlfriend says, let's go out tonight, and she's drinking, nah, I'll pass. Or your boy's like, come on, let's go over this way. You like, gut feeling, I'll pass. That could be a life or death decision. So as young kids, you just don't think of everything like that. But you have to. And you have to say, I got to be conscious of every fucking thing I do. A lot of my friends are in prison. You know why? They was getting high. And they weren't really thinking things out.
Where you get desperate when you're, an addict. You do shit you wouldn't normally do.
I never done weed. I never drank. I never did any drug. I recently did ecstasy.
Did you love it?
I found that be my favorite drug in the history of the world. Because they told me it was a sex drug. And I was like, I don't do drugs. And she was like, you should try it. You should try it. And we were in Miami. And next thing you know, I'm rubbing my legs and shit. We got back to the hotel and like angels and choir music were coming out of the pussy. I was like, the fuck is that? I'm not here to promote X.
No.
He's already promoted all the drugs
I
on
tell
this
Monica
show.
all the time, don't leave planet Earth without doing it. You have that moment when you're fucking where you're like, I am in a porno.
I was in a porno before I started fucking. I was walking around the room like Max Hardcore. But the thing about even ecstasy right now, there's fentanyl in all these drugs.
I know. Yeah, you have to be so careful.
And it'll kill you. One time we were in Florida and somebody gave us what they call Molly, but it was in a capsule. And I thought that was pure ecstasy or whatever. I took it and I was up for 3 fucking days. It was speed. I came on a Law and Order set like, yo, what the fuck was my line? They're like, ice is high as a motherfucker. So don't do drugs. Just say no to drugs.
How come you didn't drink or smoke weed when you were younger? Like, why did you make that decision?
Because I was by myself and I felt it would compromise my situation. I seen people getting drunk, being high. I remember when I was young, I was in junior high, this big homie was like, yo, hit the weed. I'm like, nah, I want to hit the weed. He's like, well, you a bitch if you don't hit the weed. If I'm a bitch, make me hit it. Oh, why you tripping? So once I stood my ground, I never had to do it. And I just never thought being high was attractive. And then I learned that the sober cat in the room is the most dangerous cat in the room. I was like the designated driver before they had the term. Like, I was the homie that didn't get high. If the cops pulled us over, I'll talk to the cops. I'm talking to them like I'm a white kid. Yes, officer, we're just coming back from a funeral. All my guys' heads are down because their fathers got shot by a cop. Honestly, I'm going to tell you. My father's dark. I'm not white. My mother was light-skinned. I would play white on him. I'd be like, my father, he's a white guy. He's a state trooper based out of Fresno. I just run that bullshit on him. Everybody liked Ice being sober, and still to today. I'll socially drink, like if I'm out and they serve champagne, I'll sip it. A little cranberry vodka, I'll sip it. But I don't like being drunk. I'm not that person.
You're a control freak.
Well, yeah, you lose control if you're on substances.
Control freak only because it was for my life.
Yeah, that'll make one a control freak.
I always felt if I hit the ground, whose job is it to come find me? I don't got no mother, no father. I might lay there for a day.
Yeah. You didn't have a safety net, so you didn't act crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Douglas Sentry worked on this book with you and Spike. And he's a damn good writer.
Yeah. Well, he's a criminal writer. He wrote one on El Chapo.
Yeah, that's what I read, El Chapo.
I worked with him on my other book. When I got the idea to do this book with Spike, I said, Doug got to write it. Because Doug knows me, and the way he works is dope. Because he takes what you're saying. And when you read the book, you swear to God, I'm talking right to you. And that's a unique way of writing. Once you get the book together, you go through almost 6 to 8 months of just editing. Then we had to go everybody's name in the book. We had to get them to agree. You want to be in this book? Should we change your name? In the book, I say, people have to learn how to tell stories without implicating those that may not want that particular story told. So if me and you did something together, Dex, I might have to change that to Fred.
Well, give me something more exciting than Fred, but yes, I respect it.
Some of our friends are preachers now. You know, they've gone on to different things and they may not want to be mentioned in this context.
Yeah. Is it safe to assume if this book is a wild success, Spike will benefit from it?
The object of this book was to get Spike out there to be able to do some speaking engagements,
Oh, wonderful.
to talk to kids and tell them not to take his road, to make him somebody that can go out and talk and help. We did an audio book that's dope because both of us did the vocals, so you get to hear us talk.
That's cool.
That's the way to do it.
I count that as one of my new albums.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to help him. When you come out of prison, very few people got somebody there to help you. You know, he really wanted to tell people not to fuck up like he did. So that's why we wrote the book.
Yeah. I think it's really cool. Split Decision, Life Stories by you, Spike, and Douglas Sentry.
Snoop just hit me up this morning. He got his book. So, you know, it's coming out.
Let me ask you something. When you talk to Snoop, do you guys ever just get into the corner and go, how the fuck? Look at this.
Yeah.
I'm on a Cheerios box. My 7 and 9-year-old daughter watched him judge some singing competition. It's got to crack you guys up.
You know what happened, though? The guards changed.
Yeah. Super Bowl, baby.
The people that were scared of me and Snoop and Eminem and 50 Cent, they're gone. The new CEO is about 40 years old. And he's like, let's go. Let's go, Snoop. So I was talking to Snoop or Dre, and we laughed because we're like, yo, public enemy number one. Now you with Martha Stewart. You know, like, what the fuck?
Yes.
Tell me from your point of view, because I was crying through half of it. Watching that halftime show going, oh my God, these are all the kids from 20 blocks away that were supposed to be dead, and they're the fucking kings of the universe, and they got there by being artists. That to me was the most triumphant moment I've seen on TV in my life.
When Dre got the call to do the Super Bowl, he didn't know if he wanted to do it because Dre does not like to lose. And I was just telling him, man, you got all the best artists, you got Kendrick, all these people you put in the game, you got to do it. When I saw them kids crip walking, I'm like, do you understand what the fuck? Snoop's up there with a blue rat. But I think what hip hop told young white kids is we're not mad at you. We're mad at things. We're probably mad at the same shit you're mad at.
Hip hop and punk rock's the same thing.
Exactly. So now that the new power structure is up, like I always said, Barack Obama was the first hip hop president because black people, we only make up 15 to 17% of the population in the United States. You can't win a presidency with that. You win that with a bunch of white kids that listen to hip hop that says, I'm not afraid of a black man being in charge. I'm not afraid of them. Get that racism bullshit away from me.
Yeah.
And that's how it was possible. Hip hop changed the world.
Yeah. So it's all those kids, we all grew up with many of y'all as heroes. And yeah, I think it was one of the better things that could have happened.
Yeah, we're still here on Cheerios boxes and shit.
Well, listen, Ice-T, this was awesome. I'm really, really flattered I got a chance to talk to you in real life. Full circle. Don't know how I got here, but here I am.
We're not done. We're in the second half, you know what I'm saying? So I'm picking up speed. Right now, I'm more busy than I ever been in my life. Like right now, they could put Ozzy Osbourne on a box of bat cereal or some shit.
Lucky Charms with bats in it.
Yeah, because people now get it. They like, yo, this is just entertainment.
All right, brother, this was awesome. I hope I bump into you in real life, and I wish you a ton of luck on Split Decision.
Thank you for supporting the book and giving us this platform so we can promote it, make the right decisions. As corny as it might sound, listen to your parents out there, man.
Yep.
It's good advice.
All right, brother. Talk to you.
All right, peace.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
We are supported by HP. If you're a parent or you know one, like I do, or you can help take care of kids, you already know what August feels like. It's not summer anymore, it's the pregame. the supplies list, the forms, the "we need this printed by tomorrow" texts that come in at 9 p.m. And I say this as someone who's been on the receiving end of those texts in a former life. You're ready to help, and then the printer says no, out of ink, blinking at you. Useless. It's such a small thing, but it will absolutely derail your night. So when I heard about the HP Smart Tank printer from HP, America's most trusted printer brand, I thought this is the kind of thing that actually makes life easier, not in a big flashy way, in a one less crisis way. Instead of those little cartridges that run out the second you need them, the HP Smart Tank uses refillable ink tanks, and it comes with up to 3 years of ink included. 3 years. That's 3 back-to-school seasons without the cartridge panic. HP can't fill out the forms for you, but they can make sure the printer is never the reason you're up past midnight. Search HP Smart Tank.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. You've heard us talk about BetterHelp for a while, but I don't know that we've ever talked about how much people love this service when they use it. BetterHelp has an average live therapy session rating of 4.9 out of 5 based on over 1.7 million client session reviews. And you can check out the reviews yourself at betterhelp.com/reviews to see how much they love BetterHelp. Knowing that kind of service feedback from real people speaks for itself. I'm a huge proponent of therapy, as we've talked about before. I've learned so many things about myself that I believe truly only an outside, objective person could help me come to. BetterHelp makes it easy to get started. Answer a few questions, get matched with a therapist based on your needs, and switch therapists at any time if it's not the right fit. See the reviews, see what stands out, and see if BetterHelp is right for you. Visit betterhelp.com/Dax. That's betterhelp.com/Dax. This episode is supported by Helix.
So I've had my Helix mattress for a few years now, and I still love it just as much as the first night. That says a lot because a good night's sleep is very important to me.
Sleep is everything. And what's great about Helix is that it's not a guessing game with finding the right mattress because they have over 20 models, so you can find the one that actually fits how you sleep. And with that summer heat upon us, Helix has cooling upgrades that can get you the best rest even on hot nights.
I have a Helix Midnight Luxe mattress. I really like the level of firmness it has, but that might not be right for you. They have so many options, and you just go take the quiz, and it is perfectly matched for your needs, which is incredible. I also highly, highly recommend the cooling upgrade, especially in the summer. It makes your sleep so much better. If you're still tossing and turning on a mattress that's not working for you, just trust us on this one.
Go to helixsleep.com/armchair for 20% off site-wide. That's helixsleep.com/armchair for 20% off site-wide. helixsleep.com/armchair. We are supported by Auto Trader. All right, if you've been putting off car shopping because it sounds like a whole thing, buying your car online on Auto Trader makes it way easier, really. You can shop tons of cars online, compare prices, check financing and trade-in options, all from wherever you are. And if you want to start online and go to the dealership for a test drive, you can do that too, really. What I like is the flexibility. Start online, finish at the dealer, or the other way around. Your info stays with you, so you're not starting the process from scratch. Plus, you're working with local dealer listings, so you've got real people helping behind the scenes. And when you're ready, you can pick up your car or have it delivered. Really. Buy your car online on Auto Trader. Really. And now my favorite part of the show, the fact check with my soulmate, Monica Padman.
Reminder to submit your stories for Armchair Anonymous.
Is this iced tea?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. That makes sense then. Bookended.
Yeah. I like to remind people.
I really appreciate that you remind everyone. People are forgetful.
Yeah, I am.
People often put in the comments like, what was the book you referenced? And they just heard it. And I almost sometimes feel like it doesn't take longer to ask on the comments
Instead
than
of
rewinding it.
Yeah.
But I understand. Sometimes you're busy. You're listening to it while riding a motorcycle in your earpods.
Sure.
Earbuds.
Yeah, sure.
Earpods or buds? What do you call them?
I call them headphones.
But headphones imply like the big brace around the top of your head, like we're wearing currently.
That's a good question. I think headphones still count as the ones that plug into your phone,
Yeah, that's another great distinction.
but that's what I use. I don't use pods.
You don't use earbuds?
No.
Okay. Airbud. Kevin
my
Ziegler is my
God.
good friend, star of Airbud.
Ding, ding, ding.
Dingle dingles. I use Air Max. Is that what I use, Rob?
Yeah.
Yeah.
AirPod Max.
AirPod Max.
No, because they're
the
not
big
pods.
boys.
They're
No,
headphones.
They're the biggies.
They're called AirPods though. AirPod Max.
Ooh, Max. It's the Max, Monica.
The Max
The
is-
Max for the Monica at TJ Maxx. Get the Max for the Monica at TJ Maxx. You remember their slogan? Get the Max for the minimum at TJ Maxx. Get the Max for the Monica at TJ Maxx.
Wow. I think Max is great, but I think
Kelly's husband.
I love Callie's husband, Max,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
also think
And Max Verstappen, you love.
no, I don't.
Okay.
But I do think he's talented. Anyway, Max is great, but they shouldn't put pods in that word because it's not a pod. It's a straight up headphone like the ones we're wearing.
Without a cord. You agree?
Yeah, I agree. It's a little
Okay. It's
confusing.
It's
confusing.
Because the
confusing.
AirPods are just the earbuds.
Yeah, confusion in the marketplace is what we're dealing with.
Like air, I understand because no cord.
I got to pump something. I never pump my own wares on here.
Okay, go.
But we have shit I don't even know we have at Hello Bello. Like there's products we have that I don't really know we have.
Okay, like
That's not a great testimonial to start with.
this is like how you start every Armchair Anonymous.
But the Everything Body Balm, have you tried that?
no,
Oh my God.
is it great?
It's not petroleum jelly, but you'd swear it was like petroleum jelly. It is so smooth and silky and not oily.
Nice.
And I've recently discovered it, and I've been putting it on top of my tattoos and stuff. I'm like slathering myself in it. I found it because I freshened up my hair dye. And before I put the hair dye on, what I was in the market for was a big layer of petroleum jelly along my hairline so
Okay.
that the dye doesn't get on my skin.
Sure.
And that's a move you can make, I know, from the past. So I think I went into Kristen's drawer looking for that and found this big tub of the Everywhere Body Balm. And I used that.
Wow.
And then I was like, I love how this feels in my fingers. Oh my God, it feels so good on my forearms. And I just started slathering myself. Kind of like Brooklyn in sheets. I started writhing around in all this oil.
Oh my God.
Oh, I love it. It's dry, but it's oily. I love
Mixed
it.
messies.
And the container is beautiful. It's beautiful blue.
Is it glass?
It's not.
No, it's like a little plastic bowl. It's like a bowl.
It's heavy though.
Oh.
It's gorgeous. Anyways, I couldn't believe we made it. It's so great. So excited.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm going to slather it.
You know, when you have free products that are great, I'd appreciate just some
Handing it to you.
disbursement.
That's a very justifiable ask. But as you just learned, I just learned of it.
I
So
know.
I couldn't have been giving it to you, and like I just discovered it. But now I'm all in on it.
Now, tomorrow,
Yeah.
I'd appreciate
Okay. We'll do
some
it.
balm. I mean, look, I'm
me.
a tough customer.
I know you are. Your skincare regime, your awareness of the marketplace, the products, the
And
tinctures.
remember, I told you about the
toners.
really good Spanish baby wipes.
Yes, and was not appreciated. Because I do know about our baby wipes, and I love them.
I love them too.
yeah.
That's my go-to, but I didn't bring them. And
Went
then
abroad.
I went abroad, and then I got a really cool baby wipe.
Oh my God. Was it sensual?
No, but
Okay.
it's
This oil's sensual I'm talking about.
okay. But
All
a
right.
baby wipe probably shouldn't be sensual.
Not for a baby, but if if an adult's using it on themselves and it's sensual, I'm fine with that.
It's fine. It's just like that's not the purpose. But sure,
No, it would be an added benefit. Like you were trying to clean things up and back.
yeah.
Yeah, and if you were cleaning things up and back, and it did get things really clean and back,
Yep.
and yet it was also sensual, great.
You're right.
Yeah, it's just added
I had a bonus.
perk.
Wow, there's a ding, ding, ding.
What?
We did talk about in this episode the funerals where they are posed.
Yes.
That's just a ding, ding, ding for our prompts.
Oh, right. Did we ever? Maybe you have it in the fact check. I can't remember if it was in the Dominican
No,
Republic.
yeah, you
Is that-
said Dominican Republic, but it's Puerto Rico.
It's Puerto Rico. Okay.
That was my fact check. Okay, I'm going to transition into something serious.
Okay. You're gonna try to segue.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yesterday, I was on Facebook. I never am on Facebook.
You have an account.
Yeah, I've had accounts since
Yeah.
day one.
Okay, great.
I was second year
of Facebook.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Because you knew it had been a Harvard EDU type thing?
No. Like the first class
Yeah.
that was invited to Facebook was 2004.
Okay.
And I graduated 2005.
Congrats. Yeah. Good job.
Yeah. Anywho, so I'm an OG. But I was on Facebook and my very good friend from home, I've talked about this before.
Whose husband was shot?
Her husband was shot at the golf course where he worked. And someone did a Sports Illustrated interview or like piece. He did a piece on that whole story. And there was like kind of a podcast element. There's this audio 20-minute interview where they talked about it. And then they also talked to Ashley.
Okay.
My friend. I listened and I was just I was like, this is so sad. Like this is just so upsetting. I can't believe this is someone I know.
Right.
It was just a lot. And then I go and I edit this episode. Mm-hmm. And I felt very conflicted after having just listened to this story of my friend whose husband was shot and it was a drug thing.
Okay.
To then transition to this episode with Ice-T where he's talking a lot about this world and drugs and
bank robbery.
His friend who he wrote the book with, who goes to jail, but then is now out. Someone got killed in that whole incident. Mm-hmm. It's hard for me to separate these two things. When we recorded this, I wasn't thinking about it at all of like, oh, there are like people on the other end of this.
Well, I think, it's a vague concept until it's very personal. And then it comes with all kinds of different feelings.
Yeah. I just want to make sure, and I know we didn't do this, but there was something about it that I was like, I feel like it's really important. Because we were laughing, of course. We were like laughing and engaged. And it's like, I think it's really important for us to say that we don't condone that behavior and that we definitely don't mean to glamorize that behavior. And I don't think we did, but, or I'll speak for me. I can't say for you. I don't.
Anyone that would think we're pro-murder based on that?
I know, but I'm just saying when I listened and we're pretty cavalier.
Right. Really quick. I think there's a reason for that. We're talking about things that happened 30 years ago. I think if we were talking about his friend who's currently robbing banks, it would have absolutely a different tone. I think because we're talking about something that happened in the past and the guy did injure someone clearly. I don't even think Ice-T explicitly stated what happened, but clearly someone was killed.
Yeah.
And then that person has spent the last 20 years in prison. It is a different proposition to talk about than something that's active. It's like the way I can tell funny stories about being a drug addict and almost ODing because we know I didn't.
But you're talking about yourself in that case. In this specific case about the person who was killed, that doesn't get less intense for the people in that person's life forever.
Absolutely. I agree. I think all things are true. Like, yes, my heart goes out to anyone that's experienced it. And if it happens to me, I'll be heartbroken and can't go forward. Also, we can talk about partying and drinking too much beer. Someone's son got alcohol poisoning and died.
Yeah.
And because that happened, it doesn't mean that every conversation I have or have about drinking excessively has to include an acknowledgement of all the wreckage it's caused. I think it's okay to have compartments in my head about what is the nature of this conversation. Are we talking about proposed legislation? Are we talking about what people are owed? Are we talking about things we can do to prevent it? Are we talking about a bygone time where people narrowly avoided dying? You know, they're all different. I think it can get too broad for people. I think like this happened to a friend's comedy show. I know they're doing an improv set in front of thousands of people. And one of the suggestions comes up, a pregnancy. It's two guys playing it. They're doing this delivery on the thing. Afterwards, someone in the audience is like, that was so distasteful. How dare you treat that with such levity? I had a miscarriage last week. I feel bad for that woman who had a miscarriage. And I don't think we can live in a world where people on stage can't make jokes about a delivery. It's not the responsibility of everyone else not affected to change how they're living their lives because something tragic happened. No, yeah,
no one said that to me. I'm just telling you how I felt when I listened. That I felt like that's uncomfortable. It would be uncomfortable to be like, that's really serious. I probably wouldn't say that to a guest, perhaps.
Yeah.
But when I was listening back and I was hearing myself laugh at some of these things, I was like, that's not funny. That's really serious.
I got you.
It's just me. By the way, this isn't a light episode. It's not like we laughed the whole time, or I just felt that the whole time I was listening. And my reaction specifically was not the same when I listened back.
Yeah. And I think if I had a daughter who succumbed to an eating disorder and died, and I ever heard people talking about us just frankly discussing whether or not Kardashian was right or wrong to say that thing, and then Lily has her perspective, and none of us are talking about it with the weight that I would need it to be talked with if I went through that.
Sure.
And I also just think that's yet just another tragic, terrible layer to it.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks for anyone who's lost a loved one to hear other people talking about the same thing lightheartedly.
Yeah, or just not
But
with the
I also
gravity.
think it's just the reality of
It
life.
is.
It's like it's unavoidable. Like there's not going to be a silver lining to anyone who's lost somebody. Like I don't think the world changing how they talk about tragedy is actually going to have any impact. It's just like it's brutal. It's terrible. And it must be heartbreaking to hear people talk casually about such serious things.
Right.
But I also just think that's reality.
Yeah.
I think context is also everything. If we had a true crime show and we were laughing our way through it, that'd be a mismatch. But we have a
Right.
very lighthearted show. We could have spent the 2 hours with Dog the Bounty Hunter shaming him that he was involved in a homicide. Like he was the getaway driver in a homicide. He went to prison for it. Whoever's child died in that homicide, what they deserve is to hear Dog apologize for 2 hours to them. There's no question. That is what they deserve. But I'm not going to have Dog here and make him apologize for 2 hours for something that happened 25 years ago. It's just like, it's not why I would invite him on.
Right. No, I'm not advocating for that at all. But,
But it's a really common, it's like we have guests where, came out, they said the N-word in the 90s. It's about to happen. We're about to have a guest that is known to have used the N-word. That'll be a big thing on our comments. Why didn't you ask her about saying the N-word? I'm probably not going to ask her about saying the N-word because she already has addressed it 45 times. And she said as many times as she can, she regrets it. And I'm either not going to have her on, but I'm not going to have her on to hear the 100th time that she apologizes for having used the N-word 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I would just rather not have her on.
Yeah.
I don't have our guest that just left. People are going to be mad I didn't grill her about being Scientologist.
Yes.
And that's okay. They should go listen to shows that are about outing people. There are those shows. They exist for everybody.
Yeah.
But to want every show to be the exact same thing, I push back against, or I don't concede to.
Yeah. Anyway.
We get support from Skims. Oh man, do I love Skims. I've been living in the Skims lightweight cotton collection all summer, and I have to tell you, getting dressed has become so easy. I just throw it on. It just feels right immediately, whether I'm grabbing coffee or I'm on the couch all day or I'm out, even going to dinner. The cotton is so lightweight and breathable, which in this heat is a non-negotiable. The cotton jersey t-shirt, I just need everyone to know about this one. This one hugs in all the right places. It's very soft and it still looks and fits the same after months of washing, which is very hard to do, I feel, with t-shirts. I've been wearing the black cotton jersey t-shirt with basically everything all summer long. It goes great with any patterned skirt or shorts or pants. I mean, anything truly. I believe that's probably my favorite piece from the cotton collection, but they also have great lightweight cotton thongs that are so comfortable and they're cute. That is a very, very hard mix to achieve, especially with undergarments. I feel if you can find some that are cute, but also comfortable and do the job, that is a win. And Skims has really, really figured that out with the lightweight cotton collection. Shop Skims cotton and all of my favorite pieces at skims.com. After you place your order, be sure to let them know we sent you. Select podcast in the survey and be sure to select Armchair Expert in the drop-down menu that follows.
Okay, he mentioned Max Hardcore. Now, that is a porn actor.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. His name is Paul F. Little.
That's ironic. Does he have a big hog? A big hammer in his pants?
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Odds are a porn star's got a big hammer. That tends to be who they cast.
That'd be my
in those.
guess.
Yeah. So the fact that his last name's Little is very duck, duck, goose.
Mixed messies. He rose to prominence in 1992 with the film series The Anal Adventures of Max Hardcore.
Oh, okay.
Which in 94 was awarded the X-Rated Critics Organization's Award for Best Amateur or Pro-Am Series.
Now, again, really quick, I don't want to get too bogged down on this. If I'm the father of the daughter who Max anally invaded, I don't think this is funny. But it's also... it's funny that the thing that the guy started is called like the Anal Invaders.
Wait. But also these things, no, not invaders, adventures.
Oh, wow. That's kind of more lighthearted, isn't it?
Yeah. I
Okay.
don't think anyone was invaded. I
Okay.
think everyone was consensual in this film.
You hope. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, again, not the same, right?
Well, but if your daughter had a drug habit and then she ended up in this movie, and so the whole thing's really regrettable. And Max Headroom, what's his name? Max Little? Hardcore Max took an adventure in your daughter's asshole, and we're laughing about it. And you're the father of that daughter, or you're that daughter. It's not funny.
It's not funny, but I also don't want to say those are the same. Someone getting shot in cold blood and someone who has a drug problem who found her way into a porn. That's not the same thing.
But it is the same in that the information for the person close to it is insufferable.
Of course.
And then for those who are not, either Max...
Yes.
Max Maximum, what's his name?
Max Hardcore.
Max Hardcore. I'm so sorry. If you're for everyone that's not Max Hardcore or the people whose ass he took an adventure in, it's funny, and I want
Sure.
it's the same in that way that it's simply not funny to the people that are. Yeah.
Apparently, he directed it also.
Oh, he's a
Wow.
multi-hyphenate, as we say in show business.
Okay, he said that he was talking about the Harlem Crips and that how they got connected to LA. Like he was just like, we're not going to go there. Why it's called Harlem, even though it's in LA.
He did a couple times acted like if he were to have said something, he himself would have been threatened.
That's scary.
Right? Like I felt like there were a couple moments in the conversations like he was about to say like I'll tell you more about that, but there's no way I would tell you that in public.
Oh.
I'd probably open myself up to some kind of retribution.
In 1961, a hurricane prompted the first major wave of immigration from British Honduras to South Los Angeles, which was already home to street gangs like the Crips and the Bloods. The spread of gangs among Belizeans accelerated in the 1980s. Following a wave of gang violence, ethnic Belizean gang members were deported back to Belize. Deported Belizean gang members quickly spread the culture of Bloods and Crips in Belize City. While the gang was in Belize, it adopted the current name. By 1995, the gang was active in Harlem, New York City, and responsible for several assaults and shootings. In 1997, the gang was making $4,000 per day in drug sales. Yeah, they originate in Harlem, New York, and tend to be older than the typical active gang member in South Los Angeles, rolling 30s.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember him saying that. Okay, this kind of tied in.
Okay.
I noticed this 20 years ago when I lived in LA and my friend Scott and I were looking at some ballot measures. We were about to vote, and one was some gang initiative. And I said, I don't know. I think everyone's so afraid of gangs. Like, all you got to do is say it's going to crack down on gangs and you can get any amount of money and anything passed. Like, you're so fear driven. You're not objective at all. So, similarly, talking with Eric and his buddy Andrew the other day, and we were talking about who's running for mayor, right? And they were talking about this candidate. And would you vote for him? And I said, I don't really know what he's about other than he wants to clean up the homelessness situation, the unhoused. They said, and he wants to crack down on crime. Okay. And I said, I mean, on paper, that sounds great, crack down on crime. And I looked this up. I said, I actually think LA's insanely safe. In fact, I think I've even heard things on the news like it's much safer to live here than any rural place in America. And I looked up deaths. The way they do homicide is per 100,000.
Okay.
So can I read you like the top 10?
Yeah.
Hold on. Am I going to have to research it? I thought it was a tab I already had open.
Ooh, history. Google Chrome.
Using Safari on that phone?
No, this is not it. Oh, boy. Anyways, you know what? I'm not going to find it.
Okay.
The point is that I did the top 100. LA wasn't on the list. Not only that, but the top one had a murder rate of 10x of what we had.
Wow.
Our murder rate is 5 per 100,000.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's insanely low. Like when you compare it to other cities,
Yeah.
it's one of the lowest. And so for someone to run on the platform of I'm going to crack down on this,
Yeah.
to me is, I think it's preying upon people's knee-jerk fears of things.
Yes. Speaking of this, someone was shot at my pharmacy.
Which we agreed is the least shocking thing we've ever heard, despite what I just said about this being a very safe city. When you said someone was shot at this unnamed pharmacy, this unnamed pharmacy is in a shopping complex with like 3 different vape stores, a nutritional supplement place, which is really just all of the legal over-the-counter psychotropic drugs you can take. There's so much riffraff going on in this plaza, and they shut down our unnamed pharmacy that we used to go to and directed everyone to this one.
Yes.
I went twice and I was like, fuck this.
Yep.
Whatever ailment I'm here to correct with medicine is not as lethal as this parking lot.
Exactly. And that's still mine. Someone got shot there. Yep.
Inside unnamed pharmacy.
Yep. And David Ferrier's friend got punched there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, maybe I should start hanging out there.
I know. It actually sounds like a place you'd
Yeah,
love.
I'd love to get a job sweeping floors and just patrolling the place.
If you would love to be in charge of picking up my prescriptions, I would be so
Grateful,
happy.
yeah.
I'd be so happy. I get very scared.
I don't know why you're not moving it to the Albertsons, which is
I
10
am.
feet from your house.
I am about to do that, but
Okay.
I've done it. I did it once, and it was slow. But
Oh. Okay, well, you're going to have to choose speed over lethality in this case.
I know. Anywho, see, I'm laughing about that. Someone got shot.
There you go.
I know. I'm bad. I'm a huge part of the problem. I'm the problem.
You are the problem. And I hope this new mayor cracks down on you.
Okay. He said black people make up 15 to 17% of the population.
I thought it was 12. I guess I was wrong.
13.4 is the current.
Nice happy medium between the two of
Stat.
us.
Yeah, middle ground.
Middle ground. A compromise between iced
The
tea.
middle way.
The
That's
middle
what
way.
the Buddhists say.
Swedish.
Oh my gosh. Ding, 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 iced tea. I should have
Yeah.
started with this.
Okay.
Last night was the Emmys,
Uh-huh.
and Keenan Thompson hosted.
Oh, fun.
I love Keenan.
Yes.
I really want to have him on this show.
Me too.
At the beginning, they did kind of this musical number of all these different shows.
Uh-huh.
And they did Law and Order.
Oh.
And he said at the end something about putting iced tea with lemonade.
Oh, he wanted to do an Arnold Palmer.
Something like that, but it was an iced tea reference. And that was a huge sim ding ding ding.
Absolutely. The timing couldn't be better.
I know. Okay, this is really quick, but you guys mentioned Ozzy Osbourne and bats, and just in case people didn't know or forgot, he bit the head off of a live bat.
Right. That's what made him really public enemy number one.
So people hated that, or they just thought it was so gross.
It was also at the height of the satanic moral panic, right? So it mobilized all these Christian groups to petition their venues to not allow him to play there, to boycott,
Oh,
to threaten
wow.
to arrest him. There were it was like the Elvis thing.
Wow.
Elvis, of course, shook his hips.
Yeah.
You know, the police would go and they were threatening to put him in jail for shaking his hips. It's all the same
Yes.
shit. I don't know. Again, if you're an animal lover who particularly loves bats, I understand. But in the broad scheme of things, you're reacting. This is all the same thing. It's the gangs. It's biting heads off bats. It's satanic.
Yeah.
It's all branding. You're succumbing to branding. He does that and you react. So then kids are more drawn to it because old people hate it and Christian groups are boycotting it. So now it's really appealing.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like the left going after Joe Rogan. All they did is mobilize many more people to be in love with Joe Rogan, even though he's not left or right. The result of the left, the few people on the left that got public about boycotting Rogan, the end result was a huge net gain in listeners for Rogan.
Is it?
Yes. Because you had all these people that normally wouldn't even listen to him, but now that to piss off the left, they should listen.
Well, I don't know if it's to piss off the left so much as it's what's this? Oh, this must be
There's
actually
that.
crazy because if it's this bad, like what is it? I want to know.
There's looky-loos, but he's like anti-Trump. So it's like on one hand, he's anti-Trump, but on another hand, he's saying he wouldn't get vaccinated if he was 20 years old.
Right.
And so because the left freaked out so much, it made him appear to be a spokesperson for the right. So then they rallied around him and dramatically increased his listenership. So it's like all things aside, if your goal was to get more people listening to Rogan, you succeeded. If your goal was to get less people to listen to Rogan by this boycott, you failed miserably.
Right.
I've said my 2 cents.
You said you're like 25 cents.
Yeah, I've said my $10.
That's all.
That's everything.
Yes.
Okay.
You're off on a plane in a couple hours.
What's that song? I've
Leaving
been on an airplane,
jet plane.
Don't know when I'll be back again Sunday night.
So you're leaving for Nashville.
Yes.
You're gonna go-
Well, more than Nashville, Bristol, night race,
You're
NASCAR.
going to a NASCAR race. Well, I hope you have so much fun.
Thank you. What are you going to do?
I don't know.
Okay. Fuck off. Sky's the limit.
I'll probably have some cake.
Oh, wonderful. All right. Well, I love you.
Love you.
All right.
See you when you get back.
We are supported by Allstate. Checking Allstate first could save you hundreds on car insurance. Not checking what the warning light means before pulling out of your driveway, you absolutely convinced yourself it was probably just a sensor thing right up until you were standing on the side of the road waiting for a tow. Yeah, checking first is the right move. So check Allstate first for an auto quote. It could save you hundreds. And for fast, reliable help when you need it, add an Allstate roadside plan today. You're in good hands with Allstate. Potential savings vary. Insurance and roadside assistance plans are subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Insurance provided by Allstate North American Insurance Company, Northbrook, Illinois. Roadside assistance plans provided by Allstate Motor Club, Incorporated, an Allstate affiliate.